lecture, we will continue our chapter number 5, separation of substances. So, we will continue our topic, methods of separation. So, here, this last one, separation process, which is evaporation, we will discuss here. So, for that, one activity is given here that you can do at your home also. For that, you have to take a 2 spoon of salt and you have to add it into the water in another beaker and stir it well with the spoon. So you have to observe that. Do you see any changes in the color of water? No. Why? Because salt have a white color and that is completely mixed in water, so we can't see the change in the color of water. Now, can you see any salt in a beaker after stirring? When we stir with the spoon the water, but we cannot see the salt which is settled down at the bottom of the beaker or bottom of the glass. Why? Because salt is completely mixed in beaker. How the salt is completely mixed in beaker? Because when we add the salt in a beaker, the water is liquid and the atoms and the particles of the liquid having a space between the each and every atoms of the liquids. So they are having some space between the two atoms or particles. That's why the particles of salt can be settled down between the space of the water molecules. So after stirring, we are not able to see the salt in a beaker. Now heat the beaker containing the salt water. Now you have to heat the beaker and which having a salt inside the water. Let the water boil away. What is left in the beaker? When we heat the water which having a salt, and after heating, what we will observe? Heating the beaker containing salt water, as you can see in this picture. This is the burner. This is the stand. This is the net, and this is the beaker, and inside this beaker we having a mixture of salt and water, and we will heat the mixture of water and salt by burner. If we have no burner, then you can do by the gas stove also, with the help of your elder or your parents. In this activity, we use the process of evaporation to separate a mixture of water and salt. The process of conversion of water into its vapor. It means when the water will convert into the water vapor, this process is called the evaporation process. The process of evaporation takes place continuously wherever water is present. This process is continuously done by itself because of the presence of sun. Because of the sunlight, the evaporation is continuously done. Wherever the water is present, evaporation is taken place. And because of the evaporation process, our clothes are also dried. Where do you think salt comes from? So, you add the salt when you prepare the food, and because of the salt the food become a tasty. So how we can get this salt? So seawater contains many salts mixed in it. Seawater having so many types of salt that are mixed in water. One of the salts is the common salt. Common salt, it means whatever the salt we are eating, we take as a food items, that is called the common salt. And except the common salt, also there are so many salt which is inside the seawater. When a seawater is allowed to stand in shallow pits, it means a ground which having a large hole. So Water gets heated by sunlight and slowly turns into a water vapor. Because of the sunlight, water will be heated and it will convert it into a water vapor through evaporation. So this is called the evaporation process. In a few days, the water evaporates completely, leaving behind the solid salts. So by the evaporation process, we having only the solid form of salt which is inside the shallow pits. It means ground holes. Common salt is then obtained from this mixture of salt by further purification. So here, as you can see in this picture, by evaporation process which will taken place at the sea, in the sea water, this is the shallow pits. See, this is the picture of shallow pits. So in this shallow pits we get these salts, and there is so many salts are